afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Fit Tech Tips. Today's speaker is a two-time Winking Lizard skee ball tournament runner-up and all-around winner in my book, our very own Adam Crowley. Today, Adam is here to share tips and tricks focused on digital housekeeping. As always, today's session will be recorded and we will share a link afterwards. And also, I'm going to drop a link to a brief survey in the comments section, so please take a moment and fill it out before you go today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat as well, and we'll do our best to answer those along the way. And with that, I will now hand things over to Adam.
Thank you, everyone here today watching live, and for those of you watching the recording later on, for joining us for an exciting webinar on digital housekeeping. We'll review and share some tips and tricks to keep your digital life neat and tidy and a little bit more secure. There is quite a breadth and depth when it comes to digital housekeeping. So as we cannot go too intensive into all of the areas that are encompassed by this, we would like to share with you in our time today some tips and tricks to help you feel more productive, less overwhelmed, and more confident in managing your digital space. Some of the topics we'll cover today are organizing your emails and files, managing your tools and apps, and some best practices for data security and privacy. So before diving in to clean up our digital footprint, you should assess your digital landscape. Knowing what you have is the first step towards effective digital housekeeping. So let's take a digital inventory. When we talk about digital inventory, we are referring to all of your devices, your accounts, your apps, and your digital files. Consider your laptops, phones, tablets, your work and your personal accounts, including social media accounts, and all of your files. You want to prioritize the digital spaces that you most frequent. Take this one step at a time. Try a self-assessment. Where do you spend most of your time in which you encounter digital clutter? Maybe you want to start there. Some examples are to start with your email inbox, or maybe your files in OneDrive are getting out of hand and are unorganized. Or maybe you like to add things to your desktop and you have random files and shortcuts on your desktop that aren't in any pattern or organization. And since we have our inventory in mind, think about breaking this cleanup into tasks of a bigger project. Think, I'll start with this device or this account and go from there. And next, we want to set time to focus on our goal. If we try and declutter between meetings or other job tasks, it will be more challenging to pick this up where we left off. If we don't focus time to complete this goal, usually something more important will arise, more time sensitive, and then ultimately we'll be adding to the digital mess, so to speak, when we don't get this tidy. Let's continue by considering a cleanup example of our email. Decluttering your inbox can help reduce stress, increase productivity, and help you stay on top of important emails and messages. A quick win for all of us, I think, is to clear out our draft messages. This can help build momentum in moving into your inbox next. Categorize messages that you are sure you will return to follow up with, and then discard everything else. From here, let's look at decluttering your inbox. Your email inbox can be stressful and distracting, especially if it's overflowing with unread or unwanted messages. So let's sweep it up. Sweep in Outlook refers to a feature that helps you quickly manage your inbox by automatically moving or deleting emails from specific senders. I'd like to take a moment to show you a demonstration of what that looks like in Outlook, in case you're unfamiliar with that. So first you'll navigate to Outlook. And then in our inbox, we're going to select an email. We'll select this calendar invite. And then we're going to go up here to the sweep button in our toolbar. When I click that sweep button, the sweep messages pop-up appears. So the prompt is for messages from Adam Crowley at fittechnologies.com. Move all messages to from the inbox folder. We'd like to do that today. We want to clean up this inbox, and we don't need any messages from Adam. So where are we going to move these to? Well, we can select any folder that we have in Outlook, and we're going to click the archive folder for now. I'm going to click OK. And as we can see, there's at least 2 emails from this week from Adam Crowley. And now all those emails are in our archive folder. Step 1 in tidying our inbox has been achieved. This sweep function will help you archive and delete old, irrelevant, and spam emails. This feature is available only in the inbox. You can't sweep from your drafts, for example, or deleted items. As I select on the email, you can see the sweep option is grayed out. And when I'm just in my inbox, the sweep option is grayed out. But once we select an email, then it becomes available again. For Katie, let's move all messages from the inbox folder to the deleted items and see that apply. That just got rid of 17 emails with a couple of clicks. Additionally, some of the sweep rules can apply automatically, as you've seen displayed in this demonstration. Some of the other options will allow us to keep the latest message and move the rest from the inbox folder, or for example, always move messages older than 10 days from the inbox folder. And those sweeps are run daily and weekly, depending on those parameters. So when you set up these sweep rules, they will run and help you keep your inbox tidy. Another feature of Microsoft Outlook that I find extremely helpful is conversations. So in Outlook, in our inbox, we'll go to the View tab. Right here at the top of our toolbar, let's click the Conversations button, and we can see our inbox is showing each message separately. Let's consider this calendar invite for Tech Tips Digital Housekeeping. You can see we have these 3 messages here from Jessica, Matt, and Mike. When we click the group into conversations, it's going to combine all of those emails together into that conversation. From the drop-down arrow, I can see here are the 3 emails that we initially saw, and here are some other additional emails that were in our inbox associated with this event. So instead of finding all of these emails individually, I can select them and then take an action on them. Oh, Pardon me, I did want to cover one last thing in our Outlook demonstration. I don't want to see my reading pane right now, so I'm going to hide this. But here we have our sections and categories that we can flag and filter. If we're looking for emails from Aaron here, we can easily filter and find those. Let's say Aaron sends me invoices and I want to categorize them as such. I can highlight all of those emails sent to me from Aaron and categorize them. Or let's say I need to take action on those. That will give us a great visual that will draw our attention to what that email is without reading a long subject or trying to look into the reading pane or trying to read the message preview. So utilize these filters and these categories as well when we're looking at cleaning up our inbox. Those are a little bit more manual tools, but they're a little bit more customizable, and you can make them work as best you see fit. Creating folders and subfolders as well is also very helpful. For example, if Aaron were to send me invoices, I may have an invoice folder over here. And I may even have subfolders for the different types of invoices that Aaron sends me and that need to be reviewed. And as we clean out our inbox, we may come across newsletters or promotional emails. Unsubscribe from those emails if they don't bring value to your work or joy to your day. Lastly, it's a great time to review your email signature and confirm your information is accurate. To wrap up our focus on our email inbox cleanup and maintaining all the work that we put in with filtering and sweeping and combining conversations and building out our inbox folders and subfolders, let's review Outlook rules. Command your inbox. Create a rule to automatically organize your inbox as you receive emails. Rules will tell Outlook how to handle specific incoming messages. They will allow you to move, flag, and respond to email messages automatically. To go back to our example in Outlook, from the home page, home tab in our inbox, let's create a rule, for Mike Reffert here. Next to our sweep function, we do have the move dropdown, which you may be familiar with. You can easily move this email to a folder of your choosing. But for this example, we're going to create a rule. And we are going to manage rules and create a new rule. Every rule needs at least 3 things: a name. Mike is important is the name of our rule. Let's add a condition, another requirement. So anything from Mike, and then what action is that condition going to take? We would like to move those to, I'm not seeing any important folders here, so I'm going to choose move to a different folder. And as you can see, I have all the different options. This will be important stuff. But sometimes Mike sends me emails that aren't quite important. So let's add an exception. And this is an optional feature. But when Mike marks an email important and of high importance, Outlook will automatically move that email into the important stuff folder. When I create this rule, I can choose to run the rule now, and that will apply to the emails in your inbox. Otherwise, if Mike were to send me an email with high importance during this presentation, we would see that apply to go into the important stuff folder. Currently, we have one email in there, and we may come back to that to see that rule in effect. The next area we will cover is organizing our files. Organizing your digital files can help increase efficiency, free up storage space, and help you quickly access important documents and files. You want to develop a structured system for organizing your files. And your way ultimately has only have to work for you. There doesn't have to be any specific standard for this, but what makes sense in your mind. We suggest labeling folders with clear, intuitive names, categorizing and organizing the files within those folders logically. And you may even consider using color coding to identify specific subjects quickly. This may make locating documents easier and prevent clutter. If you're unfamiliar with the color coding aspect, I'd like to show us another example in our OneDrive. Here, we have our folders in our OneDrive. If we right-click on the folder and scroll down to folder color, it gives us a variety of different colors to select to change that folder. So if we know what color we want to associate what information with, our eye can be drawn to that color a little bit more quicker than if we're reading each folder name, for example. In File Explorer, you can also adjust the colors. If we right-click on this folder, hover over OneDrive, and then select folder color, we'll be prompted again with our options to choose and apply. Cleaning up our desktop is also a great way to organize our files and folders. A lot of us use our desktop as a catch-all for an area that we're not sure where we want to keep something stored. But let's take an opportunity to start with cleaning up those files and folders from our desktop and utilizing the developed structured folder system that we created in our last step. Clean up those files, put them in OneDrive, and make your desktop look a little bit sharper. Don't forget to look at the Start menu as well. You can customize the Start menu by right-clicking to pin or unpin apps and move frequently used apps to the top of your list. While we're here, how many icons are on your taskbar? Do you have a pinned app on your taskbar that you don't use? Let's unpin it. Let's get rid of it. Less is more. An area that you may easily overlook is our desktop notification center. Clean up any lingering notifications and act on any important items. Good organization and identification practices make locating documents easier and prevent clutter from accumulating. Our next area of focus is our tools and apps. Whether it's your phone, your laptop, or your tablet, when we say manage your tools and apps, we are talking about the practice of organizing and effectively utilizing the various software applications and digital tools that we use on a regular basis. These are often with the goal of improving productivity and streamlining workflows. by minimizing clutter and optimizing usage across those different platforms. So let's identify, again, with a self-assessment, what are those essential tools? Evaluate which apps are truly necessary for your work and remove unnecessary ones to avoid information overload. Apps can clutter your device and drain its resources, so review your apps and delete the ones that you seldomly use. Keep essential applications to optimize device performance. Old and unused mobile apps can pose a security risk, which is something we may not think about on a daily basis. But if you're not using that app, it's likely outdated. Make sure you go in and update any apps that you are keeping to secure them properly. And any apps, again, that you're not using, go ahead and delete. Especially considering our work devices, if you want to delete something and you're not sure, it's always okay to ask your IT teams first. Let's continue our organization by categorizing apps. Great suggestion for app organization is grouping those tools based on their function, such as communication apps or productivity, design, or even finance apps. Categorizing them will make it easy to access the right ones when they are needed. Remember to regularly review and declutter your tools and apps. Periodically assess your app usage and remove tools that are no longer valuable or frequently used. There may have been a tool or an app that we utilized for a specific project or a specific job function that ultimately fell off of our plates or is no longer applicable anymore. Consider those situations and clean up those tools. Data security and privacy are paramount in today's digital world. So let's start by safeguarding your digital identity. Review your online accounts. Is there an account that you don't use anymore? Why were you hanging on to it? Let's just go ahead and delete that. Clean up that vulnerability. It's a great idea to update passwords as a part of this digital housekeeping. And that's going to include your account passwords, your device passwords, or even your Wi-Fi security key. And as that may seem like a daunting task, don't fret. Find a reputable password manager that you like to use. There's a lot of benefits that come with using a password manager. It can help with stronger security by reducing the risk of breaches, because even if one of your passwords gets compromised, the rest of your accounts will remain secure. Password managers are going to eliminate the need to remember the dozens of passwords, allowing you to create unique ones for each site without any hassle. And because you have those unique passwords, when one is compromised, the others are secure. And also that's a great convenience is having a multitude of strong passwords that are securely stored and applicable. And password managers can protect from phishing attacks by autofilling credentials only on legitimate websites. So it's going to reduce the chance of accidentally entering your password on a fake or malicious site. And we want to consider activating two-factor or multi-factor authentication. And we want to do this on many accounts and devices as we can. This is going to add a layer of security and help protect you from someone who may have obtained your password. Always try to use an authenticator app, as SMS verification is still vulnerable to cyber attacks, but ultimately it is more secure than an account that does not have this enabled. If an old account you no longer use is hacked and you have reused a password, that password on other accounts, those accounts are now vulnerable, as we touched on in the benefits of our password manager. So just wanted to include that as well. Some miscellaneous housekeeping items is to check your recurring calendar invites for the upcoming year. Check your subscriptions and cancel any that you don't use anymore. Confirm your OneDrive backups are working. Clean up your social media. Delete or deactivate any accounts that you don't use. Unfollow or mute any accounts that don't add value to your life. Clear any messages in your inbox or delete any spam or unwanted messages. You can delete and archive any posts that you don't want to keep. And consider adjusting your privacy and notification settings to suit your preferences. We also want to evaluate our digital habits. Let's take a moment to reflect on those digital habits and identify time-wasting activities and limit them. Set boundaries for social media and focus on meaningful online interactions. And lastly, we want to create digital detox days. Set up a specific day for digital detox and intentionally disconnect from screens. Engage in physical activities and spend quality time with loved ones. Regular digital detox fosters mental well-being. And lastly, we want to practice regular maintenance. Digital decluttering is not a one-time task. It is an ongoing process. You'll want to schedule regular maintenance sessions to keep your digital life organized and clutter-free. While these tasks may feel like one more thing to manage, especially before the year ends, it's worth our time to simplify our digital lives and increase our productivity and provide ourselves a peace of mind.
That was great. Thanks, Adam. Looking through the Q&A, it looks like everything that was put in the chat has been answered. So with that, it looks like we're going to get out of here on time. Thank you all today for attending the session. I know personally I'm going to set aside some time to do a little digital housekeeping of my own before the end of the year. On behalf of Fit Technologies, thanks for joining us today. We look forward to bringing you fresh tech tips in 2025, and we hope to see you there. Take care.